Khalil and Tom were best friends. They were inseparable since kindergarten. They shared a love of claymation. They would spend hours building elaborate sets and characters. They even made their own stop-motion films. It was magical. One day Khalil discovered the internet. He was hooked. He told Tom all about it. He described the vast potential. He envisioned a future where everyone was connected. Tom was skeptical at first, but Khalil's enthusiasm was infectious. Soon, they were both dreaming of a future online. They imagined getting rich, really rich. They wanted to be part of the dot-com boom. It was an exciting time. The internet was new. Anything felt possible. They knew they had to act fast. They had to seize the opportunity. One day, Khalil was reading the newspaper. He stumbled upon an article about government inefficiency. It talked about the difficulties of collecting taxes and fees. It mentioned long lines and outdated systems. It was a problem ripe for disruption. Khalil had an epiphany. He knew just what to do. He ran to tell Tom about his brilliant idea. They would create a website. It would streamline government services. It would make paying taxes and fees a breeze. No more long lines, no more frustration. Tom was impressed. He loved the idea. They decided to call their company govworks.com. It was short, catchy, and to the point. They were confident that they had a game changer on their hands. Khalil and Tom got to work. They were driven by a shared vision, a dream to revolutionize how people interacted with their local governments. They believed in their idea so much that they were willing to sacrifice everything to make it happen. They poured all their time and energy into their new venture. Late nights turned into early mornings, and weekends became a thing of the past. Their dedication was unwavering and their passion was palpable. They knew they needed money to get started. They needed investors. Without financial backing, their dream would remain just that, a dream. They had to convince others to believe in their vision as much as they did. So they created a pitch deck. It was a comprehensive presentation that outlined their business plan, market potential, and the innovative solutions they were proposing. They left no stone unturned. They practiced their presentation day and night. They rehearsed every line, anticipated every question, and refined their pitch until it was perfect. They knew that first impressions were crucial. They started meeting with venture capitalists. These were the gatekeepers to their success, the people who could turn their dream into reality with a single investment. These were people with lots of money. They had the power to make or break startups, and they were always on the lookout for the next big thing. They invested in promising startups. The meetings were nerve-wracking. The investors were tough. They scrutinized every detail, asked hard questions, and demanded clear answers. They grilled Khalil and Tom with questions. They wanted to know if these two young entrepreneurs had what it took to succeed. They tested their knowledge, their resolve, and their commitment. They wanted to see if govworks.com was the real deal. They needed to be convinced that this was a viable business, not just a pipe dream. After several rejections, they finally got a break. One investor saw the potential that others had missed. It was a small victory, but it was a crucial one. A venture capitalist saw the potential in their idea. He decided to invest. This was the moment they had been waiting for, the validation they needed to keep pushing forward. Khalil and Tom were ecstatic. Their hard work had paid off, and they were one step closer to making their dream a reality. They finally had the funding to make their dream a reality. With the investment secured, they could now focus on building their company and bringing their vision to life. They were on their way. The journey was far from over, but they had taken a significant step forward. The future was bright, and their dream was within reach. With the funding secured, Khalil and Tom needed to scale up. They had big dreams and even bigger ambitions. The next logical step was to expand their team and bring in the right talent to help them achieve their goals. They needed to hire a team. This meant sifting through countless resumes, conducting numerous interviews, and finding individuals who shared their vision and passion for the company. They brought on a seasoned executive, someone who had been through the ups and downs of the tech industry and could provide valuable insights and guidance. He had experience in the tech industry, his background was impressive, and he seemed like the perfect fit to help them navigate the complexities of running a tech startup. He was supposed to help them navigate the complexities of running a business. His role was crucial in strategizing and implementing plans that would drive the company forward. At first, everything seemed fine. The team was motivated, and the atmosphere in the office was positive and collaborative. But as the company grew, tensions began to rise. The pressure of meeting deadlines and achieving targets started to weigh heavily on everyone. The new executive had different ideas. His vision for the company often clashed with Kalei and Tom's original plans. He clashed with Kalei and Tom about the direction of the company. These disagreements became more frequent and more intense. This led to arguments and disagreements. The once harmonious environment was now filled with tension and conflict. The once strong bond between Kalei and Tom started to fray. Their friendship was being tested like never before. The pressure of running a growing company was taking its toll. Long hours, high stakes, and constant stress were becoming the norm. They were no longer just two friends with a shared dream. The reality of their responsibilities was setting in. They were now business partners. Their relationship had evolved, and with it came new challenges and dynamics. They were responsible for the livelihoods of their employees. The weight of their decisions affected not just them, but everyone who depended on the company for their livelihood. Section 5. Launch Day. The moment everyone had been waiting for was finally here. After months of hard work, the day finally arrived. The team had poured their hearts and souls into this project, working late nights and early mornings to ensure everything was perfect. GovWorks.com was live. The website they had envisioned and meticulously crafted was now accessible to the public. They launched their platform in a few select cities. These cities were chosen strategically to test the waters and gather initial feedback. They were eager to see how people would respond. The anticipation was palpable as they monitored the website's traffic and user interactions. They hoped for a smooth launch. Every team member had their fingers crossed, hoping that all their hard work would pay off without any technical glitches. They hoped for a positive reception. The feedback from the initial users would be crucial in determining the future direction of the platform. To their relief, the launch was a success. The website handled the traffic smoothly, and the initial feedback was overwhelmingly positive. People were excited about the convenience of GovWorks.com. The platform promised to simplify many of the cumbersome processes associated with government services. They could pay their bills online. No more waiting in long lines or dealing with confusing paperwork. They could access government services with ease. The user-friendly interface made it simple for anyone to navigate and find the services they needed. The website was featured in newspapers and magazines. The media buzz helped drive even more traffic to the site, further validating the team's efforts. Khalil and Tom were interviewed on television. They shared their vision and the journey that led to the creation of GovWorks.com. They were hailed as pioneers of Government 2.0. The future seemed bright. Their innovative approach was seen as a game-changer in the way people interacted with government services. They had a great product. The features they had built were not only functional but also intuitive and user-friendly. They had a growing user base. The number of users signing up and using the platform was steadily increasing, showing a promising trend. They had the backing of investors. The financial support they received allowed them to continue improving and expanding the platform. What could possibly go wrong? With everything seemingly in place, the team felt confident and optimistic about the future. Section 6. Storm clouds gather. Unfortunately, Khalil and Tom's success was short-lived. They soon realized that the dot-com bubble wouldn't last forever. The market was becoming increasingly competitive. New startups were popping up every day. Some offered similar services to GovWorks.com. To make matters worse, the economy was starting to slow down. The dot-com bubble was about to burst. Investors were becoming more cautious. They were less willing to invest in risky ventures. GovWorks.com was running out of cash. They needed to secure more funding to stay afloat. Khalil and Tom tried everything they could. They cut costs. They laid off employees. They even took out personal loans. But it wasn't enough. The company was in trouble. Section 7. Cracks in the foundation. As the situation at GovWorks.com deteriorated, the strain on Khalil and Tom's friendship intensified. They were constantly arguing. They blamed each other for the company's troubles. They were both exhausted. They were both stressed. They were both worried about the future. The joy and camaraderie they once shared had vanished. Their dream of building a successful company together had turned into a nightmare. They were no longer speaking to each other outside of work. Their friendship was crumbling along with their company. They had poured their hearts and souls into GovWorks.com. Now it was all slipping away. Section 8. The Ghost Town. Despite their best efforts, Kalale and Tom couldn't save GovWorks.com. They were forced to shut down the company. The website went offline, their offices were emptied. It was as if GovWorks.com had never existed. The failure of GovWorks.com hit Kalale and Tom hard. They had lost their company. They had lost their money. Most importantly, they had lost their friendship. They went their separate ways. They didn't speak for years. The experience left them both emotionally drained. They had learned a valuable lesson about the ups and downs of entrepreneurship. They had also learned a painful lesson about the importance of communication and trust in a friendship. Section 9. A Dream Remembered. Years later, Kalale and Tom bumped into each other at a coffee shop. It was awkward at first, but as they started talking, they realized that the old spark was still there. They reminisced about the early days of GovWorks.com. They laughed about their mistakes. They acknowledged their regrets. They realized that their friendship was more important than any business venture. They decided to put the past behind them. They decided to rebuild their friendship. They knew that they would never forget GovWorks.com. It was a reminder of their shared dream. It was a reminder of the importance of friendship.